day, freaks. I'm here to give Scorpio a spring fever wild card love read straight from the hip with lots of lip. We are going to be looking at what the spring season has in store for you in terms of love and romance. So if you're not interested in such things, if you're not looking to connect with anyone on the level of amore, then this is not the read for you. We are specifically looking at love and romance, all that hearts and flowers stuff. Okay, so this is going to be it for any significant placement in Scorpio. So Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, because of the astrology currently in play, as well as any significant eighth house placements. You might find resonance with this message. Do be aware it is a collective reading, it's not a personal. Not every single message is going to be for you. There's lots of different themes, stories, downloads that will be coming in. I speak to all of them. I just get out of the way and let come through what needs to come through. So engage your own intuition as to how the messages are speaking to you. Don't take what's not yours. Leave it for whoever needs to receive it and just flow. Just flow. I did get an opening download for you, Scorpio, and that was that you have a prayer or wish that you made a long time ago that's about to come in for you. You might have even sort of shelved this wish, this prayer, that you put up. Maybe you thought it went unanswered. Um, there's something about you're going to be surprised. This thing is actually coming in. It was delayed for a long time. There's many reasons behind that. We'll dive into it with the cards. But I feel like the timing is awkward for you when this comes in. Where in the past, at the time that you made this wish or you sent up this prayer, it would have been prime time for you to jump on this thing. With it coming in now, it disrupts some kind of stability that you've reached either in your life, in terms of like what you've built for yourself, or it could possibly be a certain stability you've reached within yourself, where it's almost like this coming in now is destabilizing in some way. I feel like it's a person. I feel like it's a person who's coming into your life that's going to be like a disruptive influence or some kind of offer coming forward that at one point may have been exactly what you wanted, but now you're not so sure if that fits. And there's some way that it makes your present circumstances a little challenging with this approaching you at this time. Bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, I think also that there was something that happened in this situation where you felt really guarded. Maybe at one point you really fought for this thing or your heart was really invested in it, but with the 7 of clubs coming up in reverse, I think you stopped, hoping for this thing, believing in this thing, even desiring this thing. It's sort of just like abandoning the field. That's what I got, abandoning the field. Maybe you felt like that. Maybe you felt like you really had to take a stand for this thing for a long time, and in some way, it just would never come through. Maybe you held out for this prayer to be answered for a long time, and you just finally just gave it up, sort of chalked it up to the game, like maybe this isn't what is meant to happen. You released it, you let it go. It comes in now. It's awkward. It comes in now. And it's a bit of, it's like sort of like a divine comedy. It's like a divine comedy. And it's at that place where, everything gets really messy and uncomfortable and a little awkward. And you're not so sure if you really want this thing anymore because you realize that you've changed so much. There's something interesting here. So let's just dive into it and see what it's all about. Okay, please, Spirit, guidance for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Pluto, or loaded eighth house in regard to what's coming up during the spring season in the area of love and romance. Oh, yes, there's some kind of healing that's wanting to happen here. This is a reunion energy. This is somebody that you were involved with in the past. We see this with the Ace of Hearts here. This is a new beginning in love wanting to come in. We have the Three of Hearts in reverse. So this lets me know that at one point, this is something that went south, likely went south because there were like too many people involved. Could have been like this person was a bit of a cheat, this person, liked to keep options open. You walked away from it at one point. Maybe you were hoping that this situation would heal in the past. Maybe you were hoping this person would come to their senses, that they would realize, what they lost in your absence. I think that absence does make the heart grow fonder. I feel like this person is wanting to have some kind of healing. I feel like you're going to get some communication from this person. There's something they want to renew, but I definitely got this piece in the download. Oh, yeah. See, look, we got this in the shadow, this Three of Hearts. So I definitely know there was some element. Let me see what's going on here. Okay, it looks like the forward motion is sincere. It's coming up in the light, like this beginning that is opening up for you. It's coming from a place of sincerity. With this Three of Hearts coming up in the shadow, that definitely lets me know that there was some kind of third party element that disrupted this connection in the past. I think that you might have some mistrust against this person. And maybe at one point you were hoping that there would be some level of commitment or investment from this person, but you sort of gave up hope on that and you abandoned ship when you just felt like this is never gonna come through. I think this was really delayed coming through. I think you waited for this healing for a long time. There might even be the piece that it's sort of like now that it wants to come forward, it's almost been so long that you're like, really? What's the point? What's the point? I don't know. There's a bit of that there. There is a bit of that there. It's coming in as a shadow aspect though, so it might be something that could use a little reflection. Maybe there's something here for you that you're not aware of. Healing opportunities don't have to look like they looked for you back then, and maybe that's the piece. Maybe that's the bridging of the gap there. Maybe in the past you had this prayer or you had this wish that it would mean you and this person coming back together in relationship, or for this person finally to commit to you, and now this person's coming forward. And what you don't understand is it is the answer to that prayer. It is the answer to what you wanted back at that time, which for you was healing. But maybe now this is coming forward, this beginning, this openness to engage in some kind of emotional exchange. I believe it's for healing, and that healing might look a lot different to you. That's what happens. Like, we can send up a prayer, we can make a wish, and when it comes back around the bend, when it finally has a chance to play out, because we don't get to choose the route it travels, it is our healing. But it looks different than we expected. Okay, there's something here. There's something here. We do see you also in very much an independent energy here with this Nine of Diamonds. I think you're in a place where you really value yourself, and maybe this person made you feel like you weren't valued, or maybe you really took some kind of blow to your self-esteem. Maybe because this person would often bring other people into the mix, it really affected your confidence on some level. I feel like there's been some kind of, healing you've been through where you've really built up your confidence too. It might be a little bit why this is awkward with this person coming around. You know, you're not sure if you want to open up this door again. You're not sure what their motives are. You don't really trust it. And, you know, I think there's a part of you that feels like, well, now I'm in this place where I feel really confident. I feel really strong. I'm happy. I'm really enjoying where I'm at in my life. I finally feel like I got my sense of self back after this might have been a relationship that was very damaging for you on some level. So, you know, it's kind of a lot to even consider receiving this communication, this advance. I feel like it is coming in though. Give some details about this. Why this advance? What is the intention of this person wanting to come forward towards Scorpio? What is the nature of this emotional advancement? What are they wanting to bring in here? Okay. Crossing influence. Healing. Healing. Isn't this amazing? Look at this. That's why I love to use this deck. Okay, we had it initially. It was in the shadow. Okay. This person's wanting to bring about healing. That's their motivation. They're hoping for healing. They're hoping for healing. Okay. They understand how they cause pain. Isn't that amazing? It's also coming in reverse. So this is really somebody who's had a look back at what happened back there, you know, and it's really been on their mind with this 9 of spades coming up in the light. Something's come to light to them. In your absence, I feel, since you pulled your energy out and you just started pouring into yourself and focusing on yourself, it kind of illuminated something for this person. I feel like they got to try on your shoes for size, this piece coming in. I feel like this person has been up at night really thinking over things. They may have even had a lot coming up in their dream space. You know, I think they've had some nightmares actually in connection to you and just what happened back there. I think they're maybe have recently experienced like some kind of scare in their life. This could be like some kind of health scare, or maybe they lost somebody that they loved, you know, maybe somebody they loved dearly passed or something along these lines. There was something that sort of illuminated for them that time is short. You know, you never know how long you got. You never know how long you have to work something out with somebody. I think they've been losing sleep about this. I think they're concerned. I think they have a lot of anxiety around this. I think that they know that you might not be receptive to them. I also think that these are not easy things for them to talk about. You know, um, this is somebody who has a lot of pride around, you know, how they come off, how they appear to other people. You know, there's a certain level of like their image is important to them. And, you know, it's not easy for this person to admit when they've blown it, when they made a mistake. You know, there's something about this. It's very uncomfortable for them. Also, when it has something to do with, you know, something this deep, like matters of the heart, you know, this person's got an ego on them. I mean, I have to bring that in. I think this person may have been somebody in the past who, you know, maybe like a playboy, playgirl, you know, always had a lot of options, always had a lot of attention, you know. It's they were a bit in their ego, you know. I really feel that they may have even gotten a little ego boost at the time from like kind of putting you in that position, putting you on the sidelines, you know, curving you, putting you on the back burner. They might have felt really like an ego boost around that, maybe because of who you are. Maybe you are somebody who normally attracts a lot of attention. You know, um, you might have your own standing in your community. You know, you might be somebody that has a certain reputation that precedes you, something along these lines. Maybe you're even somebody who's always had a lot of people attracted to you or drawn to you, you know, so you're kind of that guy or that girl, you know. And so there was something about this person, you know, putting you on the back burner, that almost like gave them an elevation in their status, made them feel a little full of themselves, something along these lines. I think they realized that they kind of behave, like a jerk. It's sort of like a case of somebody realizing like they showed their ass back there, and now they feel a lot of anxiety about that. They're realizing that they had deeper feelings there and they screwed something up. They want to make it right, but there's also this piece about wanting to save face. So I'm getting this bottom of the deck energy. Yeah, this is a King of Diamonds energy. They could have Earth factoring strongly in their chart. I think this is somebody who also really has a focus on the surface of things, like money is important to them. Material things are important to them. Success is important to them. Advancement is important to them. I don't feel like it's something that's like really out of balance necessarily, because they are up in the light. And I feel like their motivations now are very much coming up in the light, but I feel like in the past, not so much. Okay. Because we have the Joker coming up right after that. And you see the dollar symbols there. So this leads me to believe that somebody's gone through a transformation in their viewpoint, in their perspective. I feel like in the past, this person was really focused on like superficial things. Like they would really get drawn in by how somebody looked, or how much money they had, what kind of car they drive, like very superficial sort of status symbol stuff. Some of them may have been more focused too on, just work and building up finances, almost to like the detriment, where the relationship really was sacrificed because there wasn't any energy poured into that. That might have been why they were more, drawn to kind of just keep things light and casual. Maybe that's why they just had a lot of people that they like to hook up with, kind of like harem energy, because their whole focus was on material advancement. Their whole focus was on their work, making money, having the finer things. And this could also be somebody who has a bit of, kind of like ego around that too. I could see this being this kind of energy where it's like, yeah, I got all the money, I got the nice car, I got all my side pieces. It's got that kind of vibe. Like maybe this person rolled like that in the past. But I think they're starting to realize it's not all fun and games when all's said at the end of the day, and having money and having status and having, the finer things in life, it doesn't make up for an absence of love. Money can't buy me love. I think they've gone through some kind of maturation. They've grown up a bit. Maybe they've had a second thought about this, like what really has value at the end of the day. Again, I feel like it was brought on by some kind of crisis, some kind of scare that made them realize, like, you can't hold on to a memory, and time, is always marching on, and you never know when your time's going to be up. It could be they had some kind of health scare. I don't know. I'm picking something like this up, and I'm hearing ambulance, ambulance sirens going off in the distance. So I feel like somebody had some kind of crisis, some kind of scare. Something happened that made this person realize what is really valuable in life. It made them think about the way they have sort of like killed time. Maybe they've put, coming forward towards you on ice for a long time. This thing has just been held back because maybe they thought they had all the time in the world. And maybe something that's happened recently that makes them realize they don't. Maybe you've taken an action recently that makes them feel like they don't have all the time in the world. Now this person wants to come rushing in. I want some more clarification on this. One more round of this, and then I think I'll pull out a different deck. Why is this person suddenly pressed to come forward after all this time? Why are they suddenly pressed? Oh, we got some shadow element involved there. That just flew out. Why is this person suddenly pressed to come forward now all of a sudden when they weren't receptive before? Some shadow element. 7 of diamonds. I think this person, like, again, this is coming through. I think that they've been waiting around too. I think this person actually had the gall to think that you were going to approach them. This person thought you were going to come to them. I told you they had an ego on them, okay? They had an ego on them. Now they're feeling a little bit pressed. And this is a case where they played their hand, and it didn't pan out the way they planned. They didn't expect you to choose growth. They didn't expect you to choose your own growth. I mean, clearly you chose your own growth here. We see that in the light. You chose your own growth. They weren't anticipating that. They weren't expecting that. So they just waited around. They just killed time. They just thought they had all the time in the world, because surely you're going to come back to them. You're going to come crawling back to them because they're such a prize, right? No dice. I see that. No dice. And they realize this ain't going to go anywhere unless I approach. Now they take it seriously. Maybe you had a pattern with this person. It was always like on again, off again with this person. Maybe that was sort of like your old pattern, and you broke the pattern. Like, you don't do this anymore. Yeah, look at this. 10 of clubs in the shadow. It was such a burden to you. You're just so sick of this. I feel like you took this shit, you threw it on the ground. You said, enough of that. I'm done. It's got big Erica Badu bag lady vibes. It's just like you got so tired of dragging all these bags around. You got so tired of dragging the weight of the past behind you, hoping that there would be some different ending to this story. And I know that was the truth, man. 22 on the clock. You were so sick of waiting for things to come into alignment that you decided you were going to come into alignment with yourself and see what was in store for you. You put the bags down. Yeah, you were done with the disappointment. You were done with the disappointment with the 5 parts. You were done of feeling like you were never going to get what you were hoping for, and you had to go very decisive in this situation. Look at this. Oh my gosh, these cards. You had to be very decisive. You might have air factoring strongly in your chart. Okay. I feel like you had to get very decisive in this situation. I'm picking up like big Aquarian energy, where it's like something happened. It sort of woke you up. It snapped you out of your complacency. You finally saw things in a whole different way. You realized it was time for you to stop, limiting yourself, that you were really being blocked and limited in your life by holding space for this. And you realized that you were taking on more than your share of responsibility. In fact, have been very generous in the responsibility that you had held in trying to heal this rift with this person. And you got sick of waiting around. You decided to cut the cord. Okay. I mean, this is you moving very much into very rational mind, looking at things very plainly, clearly. And I'll tell you, nobody can detach more than an Aquarius. An Aquarius really knows how to, they can just go cold. They can see things very plainly. They can detach very easily. Okay. This person, this person, maybe you feel like this person went cold on you too. This is another way this can be seen, because I'm also picking up a hint that this person that you dealt with, they may have a strong earth placement in their chart and a strong air placement in their chart. I'm picking up Aquarius, okay, very strongly with this person. We do see, I think it is referring to this person, but I think that your reaction was to get very logical. I think this person went cold on you. There was some like blocking of energy. The energy went really cold. There was no communication. I think there's a little bit mirroring there. I think you both have done this to each other in this situation, all right? And we do see this is in reference to this person here with that King of Diamonds. a confirmation of the energy, like double confirmation of the energy. Look, but this energy is transformed. Okay. It was in the shadow. Okay. But it's moved into the light. There's been some kind of realization on this person's part. Okay. And I think it might be because of some truth that has come through. There could be air sign involved in this that brought some kind of truth forward, that gave some kind of clarity, that helped this person see things, you know, more realistically, like as they really are. Maybe it snapped this person out of kind of like the space they were in before. You know, some truth was delivered that allowed this person to get out of their head, get out of their ego, and maybe see a different side of the story, right? So that truth could have come in from any air sign, potentially Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all right? Yeah, I mean, we see there's some kind of conflicting situation here and a lot of ego involved, a lot of battling of egos, a lot of jockeying for position, a lot of competition. Like, I think this situation's really messy. 5 of clubs in the shadow, that's a mess. And some would argue in this case, just viewing the way this energy came in, you might suspect that this person that wants to come back around, that they're the source of all of this. You may feel that this person just always has drama follow them, and it makes life really complicated. And now you're in this place where you have this certain level of stability you've created for yourself, certain level of happiness you've created for yourself. You're feeling good about yourself. And here comes this person, you might really have your guard up because you're like, man, every time you come around, it's just nonstop drama. Could be fire in here too. Okay, we got King of Clubs energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This person could have fire, earth, and air in their chart. This person could also be in a healing process themselves. They might be on their way to becoming an emperor. Okay. We got a lot of kings on the board. The only king we're missing is the King of Hearts. And, you know, that's the one we really want to see show up. I mean, we do have King of Spades in the light. We have King of Clubs in the light. We now have this King of Diamonds is now showing up in the light. Didn't used to be, okay, but they've done some kind of focus there. Maybe they realize that there's more than just what's on the surface. It's not all about status. It's not all about money. It's not all about who you know. It's not all about how somebody looks, you know. But what we're still waiting to see here is where's the King of Hearts, you know. Maybe you feel like that's what was missing from this person. We also have same influence coming up for the feminine, okay, in the shadow, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? So it works on both levels. Like, we know that this has been the piece that's been really out of alignment. Somebody just bobbing on the surface, somebody valuing the superficial too much, not going deep. We also know that when we're looking at King of Diamonds, Queen of Diamonds, we're looking at commitment. And so that lets me know that this person was very non-committal. Maybe commitment was really important to you. You never had commitment before, okay? You were always in this place of like there was juggling going on, you know? And maybe you were under the impression in the past that this person was committed to you, and that's what came to light, you know, with this 2 of Diamonds. You learned that this person was juggling others, and that's what disrupted the connection. Yeah, and we see what you really wanted was this alignment with the 4 of Clubs and the light. That's all you wanted. You wanted commitment. You wanted to build a future with somebody. You wanted somebody to be invested in you as much as you were invested in them. Now, with this coming up in the light now, it could be that you're in this place right now where either you're in a relationship currently, or you have just built this stability for yourself in your life, and now this person's coming around. The timing feels sus to you. Yeah, look at this. With the 2 of Clubs coming up in the shadow, you're going to feel it suspect. The timing is what's going to bother you. It's very interesting. You might go really cold towards this energy with the King of Spades coming up in the shadow. You might be kind of brutal with this energy because of that. because you are finally in this place where I feel like you've just recently had this experience, Scorpio, where it was like, you finally got to exhale. Like you finally felt like, okay, I got through that stuff and that wasn't easy. And, I finally feel though, like I've reached a certain place of stability in my life. I'm feeling pretty good. I feel hopeful about my future. I got something good going on here. And there's something that's going to make you feel very defensive and very self-protective about this person coming around. You may be tempted to kind of act out of your shadow and cut really cold toward them. You might be tempted to kind of give them a taste of their own medicine. Yeah, I think the tendency to want to act out of your shadow could be very strong. I also feel like there's a lot of trust has been damaged here. You're not going to trust this person or their motives. You're going to feel like they're hiding something from you. This is the hidden card, okay? Maybe, I don't know why I'm getting this, but I'm noticing like, this is very strange. Okay. This is going to speak for somebody. Maybe you even made a blood oath with this person. I'm bringing it in. It's coming in. Okay. This is for the hidden bicycle playing cards. This is the title card, but I'm looking at this red writing here. I don't know. I didn't know. Did somebody do some kind of working? Did somebody do some kind of root working? Did they write an oath in blood? Did they do a petition with their blood? Did they do some kind of blood magic? I don't know about that, you know. Um this could be a little bit of some like karmic stuff coming around, that just needs to be cleaned up. Maybe this is what's hidden. Maybe this is what's hidden. Some of you Scorpios might have done a little come to me working. I don't know if you worked with a little blood magic, but we got this 8 of hearts coming up in the shadow, okay? I feel like that was transformed, but I feel like at one point, maybe you or this person, it could work either way. There might be a little bit of mirroring action going on. I feel like there was a real attachment here. Okay. There was a real attachment here. I feel like at one point it was hard for you to really let go of this connection. You might have done some kind of working. This is not for everybody, but I got to bring it in. Okay. I got to bring it in. So don't shoot the messenger, right? It's not everybody's story, but you might have done a working, or this person may have done a working to hold on to you. So, lean in. If you didn't do a working, then you'll know it's speaking in the other way if you suspect that. Okay. But I feel like this, you wanted a new beginning. You wanted to revive this, but it is coming up with your energy, Scorpio, Queen of Hearts. A little love magic. Potentially, this could be coming around to resolve this. It looks like it might have been towards you though, because I'm noticing, look, you are coming up in the light, okay? And I see that there's been some holding on, trying to prevent somebody from moving forward. Maybe you walked away from this person and then they got possessive. They did some kind of working to try to call you back, okay? Right after that, I see the King of Clubs coming up in the shadow. Okay, so you're dealing with a character here that has, I believe that they have strong air, fire. There's like double fire here. So I think they're fire dominant. And then I feel like they also have air and earth in their chart. Ooh, I think it works a little both ways though. Look, I think maybe you both have had these issues, because there you are in the shadow too. So maybe you acted in shadow with this person. Maybe there's karmic cleanup here. In some cases, you were involved with this person and you both were being shady. You both were being shady and you were trying to have a new beginning with each other, but you had not walked away from your other situation. Maybe there's a little bit of that going on right now. Maybe this person is approaching you or will be soon, and you'll be tempted, even if you're in a relationship, to go back there. We can keep it a secret, we can keep it hidden. And I don't know, for some people, this is coming into play. Of course, it's Scorpio, but I'm getting this occult vibe here. Okay. So for some of you who work with magic, who work with spell casting, for some of you, you might have at one point when you were involved with this person, there might have been some like blood magic. You might have made a blood oath to each other, something along these lines. And that might be why there's such a draw to this person, even though you know, I don't want to sabotage everything I built. We see that you've built something here. You have an ace of diamonds. But you might be very tempted. You might be battling these two sides of yourself right now, Scorpio. A battle between your higher nature and your lower nature. You got a devil on one side, an angel on the other. You may think that you can keep this hidden, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. And I say that because what comes after it is 5 of hearts in the shadow. It throws you right back into that energy all over again. You need to be mindful about this. You also need to be aware of the sway this person has on you. Let's pull out, I want to pull out some different cards on this. Let's get some of this glow in the dark tarot action, because I like how it's black and white. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of a multi-layered situation, and I think it's complicated, and I feel like it's not just complicated in terms of like, you know, the relationship itself, but it's all the multi-dimensional layers of that relationship. It's sort of like there's this weird like energy attachment that I feel in a lot of cases is somehow spiritually like reinforced, like either through somebody did some kind of workings, or I don't know. I am picking that up with this particular collective pretty strongly, that there might be some element of that in play. Or maybe, you know, maybe they hired somebody to do some kind of working, or I don't know. There's some element in here. I don't know why I keep getting like the blood oath piece. It might be something like maybe you knew this person for a long time. Maybe you knew them when you were younger too. And maybe there is some kind of like, maybe you did, you know, I don't know. Maybe you were like straight up goth or something. You made like some blood oath to each other back then, you know, it was just like something you thought was like cool, you know, at the time, and not really understanding the repercussions of when we put roots on people like that. You know, I don't know. It's very interesting. It's just kind of an interesting dynamic. There also might be something working out within your ancestral lineage in regard to this person. I'm getting out there. I'm really esoteric with this, but it is a Scorpio read. So this might be, you might feel like this is a past life connection. There might have been sort of an antagonistic energy between the two of you in the past life. Like one was in a position of power over the other. And there might be this action going on right now where it's about redressing that power, but you might feel very tempted to redress that power and like sort of take your power back and balance those scales in a way that could actually be destructive. It's not about that. It's not about you then becoming like the person who holds all the power. It's about finding, there's something going down here in the tower. Okay. I feel like there's one person who's coming back around and they're genuinely wanting healing. And there's another person who is still very much, oh, I know I'm on the right track with this. I got major sentience. There is another person who is just wanting to just like tear the other down because they're still bitter. They're still bitter over what happened. There can also be a connection here where somebody is trying to interfere with this process. They're trying to prevent this from coming in. They're trying to prevent your forward motion, your success, okay? They're trying to put a block in your path. I say that, here we go. Here is the fire sign energy coming forward, okay? Page of Wands. Page of Wands is a big Sagittarius significator, okay? It can be any fire sign, but it traditionally represents Sagittarius. Yeah, it's being presented as a new beginning, but look what comes after it. Death. And the death comes because there's a desire to preserve happiness. You may feel like this person, if you let them back into your life, that you could potentially bring an end to this happiness you have. There's some happiness that's coming in for you, but it's like something's finished before it even starts. It's like, here's this new beginning, this hopefulness. I feel like that's what this energy is wanting to bring in. They're wanting to open up a new cycle. They're wanting to open up a new cycle. Maybe you're very surprised that this person is advancing. This tower is also kind of you being shocked that this person is coming forward in this way. But again, there's that piece about, I think you have to educate this person that there's something that's different now with this Page of Pentacles. Something is fundamentally shifted. This may even have to do with children. You might be expecting a child, or there's children that are playing a role in your life in some way where maybe you don't want to bring this disruption in. You know, I feel like there's this big sense of something that has to do with some kind of happiness that you've built for yourself, some type of security that you've built for yourself. You've gone through the tough times. You're sort of at this stage right now where you're having a new beginning. And this person may be surprised to find that, you know, you're actually ready to close this cycle. You may feel like it's not really possible. We see this with this Three of Swords. That's like, you may feel it's not possible to have this healing. That maybe you can't help but view this person as only a romantic connection. Because I think you feel a lot of, you know, destiny around this person. There's like, this person was like kismet for you. I feel like there was a really deep connection with this person. I feel like it was a really deep, soulful, spiritual connection that you had with this person. And it was just had this star-crossed feeling to it. It never went to that place of the Ten of Cups. And I feel like you're in this place right now where you feel like you're building that for yourself. And this person coming around, it sends up your hackles. It frightens you. You feel like I'm gonna lose my happiness if I let this back in. You know, I think you might be wanting to avoid this. I see you turning it down. Yeah, look at this. I see you turning it down. Oh my gosh. All the fives. All the fives, all the fives. Oh my goodness. I see you turning it down because we see here comes the offer, and it looks like you're refusing it because you spent all this time healing with that Three of Cups. You feel like you've gotten your healing, like you're starting to arrive in this place in your life where you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling confident, you're feeling abundant. There is even this sign that maybe you do have a sense of family or a sense of belonging, like you found your community or your people, or there's been some kind of healing that's happened in a family unit for you, or maybe you're starting a new family. Maybe you have a relationship that you found some sense of real happiness and fulfillment in. And I think this is what you're afraid of. You're afraid if you let this person in, it's going to be a big change, but not on a level you want. You feel like this person has deceived you in the past. You feel like this person has worked against you in the past. You feel like this person has turned people against you in the past, that they've lied on your name, that they've caused a lot of dissension, they've betrayed you. You feel like this person shut you out when you really needed a friend, when you really needed them to be there. You feel like they pushed you out in the cold. They didn't care about your well-being back then. Now that the shoe's on the other foot, all of a sudden they want in. This person brings a lot of drama. They bring fights. They bring complication, conflict. I think that this person will bring disruption in. Oh yeah, let's get to the truth though. Let's get to the truth though, Scorpio. Let's get to the truth though. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. All right. I mean, the truth of the matter is the truth of the matter is you're really trying to temper yourself, okay? Because I think that you're going to entertain this communication here. You might have a strong, you might have strong air in your chart, picking up, strong Libra in particular, because we got the Queen of Swords here, which is pretty standard Libra association, but it could be Gemini and Aquarius as well. We see that this conversation, this communication will be entertained. I believe this is somebody that you have cut off in the past, but the reason why you're going to entertain this communication is this person's coming at you. And let's just keep it real. They got a bit of that devil D going on. All right. They got a bit of that devil D going on, and you want some of that, so you're like, all right, I'll hear you out. What do you have to say? But any funny business, and I'm going to block you right quick. But then you're thinking about that personal gratification. You're remembering how good that was. And you're like, I don't know. I might be willing to take an L. I might be willing to take an L for that D. And this person, they know how to talk a good game, okay? They're really good at weaving the fantasy, I think that you're very tempted in this situation. And it's really about, do you want to go for this ride again? And you got to look at it with the Wheel of Fortune here. You could be dealing with any of the fixed signs in this situation too. These may be other players in this situation that can bring in that trauma, that can bring in the complication. Ted just said yes, so you could be dealing with Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. Okay, that's you. You're in the mix here too, okay? And all of these players, you're all kind of in rotation. That's what I just got. You're all in rotation. I mean, I think that's the thing that you have to remember. If you're going to entertain this, first of all, if you're currently in a committed relationship, you got this, person from your past coming back around that you've already dealt with this drama with before. And if you're being tempted by the D, or, just you want that action, maybe you all have really great sexual chemistry. You might be tempted to just entertain it. You might even lie to yourself to tell yourself, oh, it's about us being friends, and just want to keep things copacetic. I don't think you can be just friends with this person. That's what I'm picking up here. You might try to lie to yourself too. You might actually entertain, what this person has to say and put yourself and your current relationship in a compromising position, because you get caught up, in the glamour they're casting. You get caught up in what they're saying. You're also remembering the gratification. But you need to remember, like it's not going to be like this happily ever after. You're not. This person is still who they are. I mean, they've grown, they've seen things differently, but they are who they are. They like what they like. You need to understand this person is going to tell you what you want to hear, but you'll be in rotation. All right, you'll be in rotation. You will. And this is about you tempering yourself. Strong Sagittarius. We got 2 Sagittarius references right here. Boom, boom. Sagittarius. Right? Oh, what is the best advice you can give Scorpio in this situation? All right, because we're running out of time here. Speaking of timing, I think this person is running out of time as well. They're running out of time. If they want to keep playing these games, we have an Ace of Cups. Okay, let's see what we got here. Here's the advice we got coming in for you. All right. Okay. You know what? This isn't bad. This isn't bad. We got an Ace of Cups is coming in as the crossing influence. I think this is a bit of like time morphing. It's sort of like in this situation, when this person comes around, it's sort of like all the timelines converge into one. And so what you end up experiencing is like the shadow of what happened in the past with your fears about what could happen in the future. And they're all superimposed on the present moment. So there can be a tendency to not be seeing the situation accurately. Maybe that can confuse you. Maybe that can put you in this place, of not seeing things accurately. But we do see that one of these cups in the 7 of Cups, it has a victory wreath here, okay? And what is the crossing influence here is an Ace of Cups. This is a genuine new beginning. You might not see the full expression of this until the summertime, okay? It's coming in as a new beginning, emotional new beginning in love in the summer. I do feel like there's something that starts to happen here in the spring, though. This is starting to move forward. I think this person, they got to have some strong earth placement, or there is something about this person that when they do finally make up their mind, they're solid. Like if they make a commitment to something, you can count on it. And maybe you haven't been able to count on it in the past, but it looks like there's been some transformation here. This person's movement forward is sincere. They are committed to this connection with you. They want to experience some healing here. They've experienced life without you. They've gotten down to the bottom of what they feel. They feel that, you are where their growth is. I think they want to grow in this connection. With this Knight of Pentacles, they realize it's been a long time, but they had to get down to the bottom of things before they could approach you. They didn't want to approach you prematurely because it matters to them. They realize how it got screwed up in the past, right? And they had to clear away a lot. Maybe they got these, people out of the picture that were causing drama in the past. Maybe you need to give this person a chance to show you where they're at. And I think that's what it's going to be about, because I see you very much like in that Taurus North Node energy. You know your worth, you know your value. You're very much with the Queen of Pentacles and also that 9 of Diamonds energy coming in earlier. You're very much in like your pre-Empress energy. You're ready to rise up into that Taurus North Node. You know your worth, you know your value. You've built your own happiness, your own stability in your life. You're not going to compromise that for anything. You actually may have somebody who's already been working with you. This could be somebody new that came in on the scene, and you might not want to jeopardize this situation. You might already have somebody who's been proving to you through their actions, not just fancy words, not just false promises, that they're actually in it to win it with you, they are showing you with tangible action. So I feel it's kind of half and half. Some of you, this person has grown and they do want to grow with you. They're willing to take it slow. They're willing to prove it to you with action. And I think you're not going to jump into anything with this person. I think you are going to make them prove it to you with action. And I feel like it's appropriate in this situation, but it leads to happiness. Either way here, you are either going to be reconnecting with this person and accepting this offer to build on a new foundation. The investment will be worth it. Let it play out, move with it as it feels like things are really getting laid down in a stable way that leads to something you can really build upon together. Don't rush it. Don't fall into old patterns or you'll find more of what you had before. That's one camp, okay? And you'll know which one you're in. I feel that's more applying to people that maybe you are currently available right now and this person's approaching you. But for those who are already in committed relationships, you've moved on from this person, them approaching you at this time. I think you're going to choose the commitment that you already got because you're with somebody, could be a strong earth sign placement, okay? That has really proven to you that they love you and they're committed to you and they've been showing you in tangible ways. And you're just not going to get sucked back into this. But I do see there's some kind of communication, some kind of closure that happens here. Kind of the deck energy. Yep. Either way, you're choosing commitment. Okay. You're choosing commitment. And for some of you, this commitment is going to be with this person who comes back around because the Magician is a card that speaks of renewal. It's a relationship that you thought was done, dusted. There's no way this thing can spring back. It transforms. Somebody's ready to do the work. Somebody's ready to take the initiative. They don't care how long it takes. They know their future is with you and they're willing to build it. And I think for a lot of you Scorpios, you have a very important choice to make. Choose wisely.